going to show my settings today, and I'm trying to explain the best I can, and that's my knowledge of how I use it and stuff. And I'm going to tell you some of the best controls for claw players and non. Alright. So, these are my regular settings. My X is really, like, honestly, this is normal for most players. They're, like, in the 6s to 7 ranges. I haven't seen really, like, many 5s for, like, the pro players. But I have my Y different than my X is because I overturn, like, going up and down. Like, I'm not used to it with my finger. My thumb. Oh, I just adjusted it. Wow. Alright. But I usually have this lower so I don't overturn when I'm going up and down. And then my target insensitivity, I recently just changed this because I could barely, like, shoot anyone. I needed to move faster when zoomed in with shotgun or whatever. And then my scope sensitivity, this should always be high because you want to snipe people there. It's just that simple. Like, it doesn't really matter, like, you always want your scope sensitivity high. It's just a thing. I have my build-in sensitivity max because my regular X sensitivity is so slow. Because I want to be able to hit shots. And then I have my edit sensitivity at this because this was my build-in sensitivity before I changed it. And then when I put my build-in sensitivity in max and edit sensitivity came out, I just kept this the same because when I put it to max, like, it was, like, so hard to edit and I was so off and I just didn't want to, like, deal with that at all. So obviously this stuff's different. So I have my motion on. I play with motion controls, and I'll show those sensitivities. I play with my not targeting, so, like, when you are just running around normally, hip firing shotguns and stuff, that's at max. I take off sensitivity targeting, which is zoom down sights. I take that completely off because I want to zoom in. I want to use my joysticks to zoom with. And then same with the scope. You don't want to use your controller's aim with. And then the harvest tool is the same as non-targeting. It's just your harvest tool while you have your harvest tool out. And obviously this stuff doesn't really matter. This is for, like, that's personal preference. I play with sprint by default because I used to be used to clicking in the joystick and I just couldn't, like, stop doing it. But then I just, like, practiced with sprint by default on because I wanted to play claw. And I have that on now. I turn this stuff off. Aim assist obviously on. I turn off edit mode, aim assist. It's just when it locks on, it just screws up your edits sometimes, and I just don't want to screw up my edits. I'm trying to be consistent. Turbo building on. All this is pretty standard. I don't have auto pick. I don't have auto pickup weapons. I don't like that. I have auto open doors. Some people don't like that. I don't have controller auto run. I hate when my controller just runs automatically for no reason. This is all on. I don't have this on because, I don't know, I probably should turn it on. But I'm just used to not having it on. I like to do everything by myself. This doesn't matter at all. If you play with a one button edit, then this doesn't matter, which I'll explain that later, probably in another video. Rumble off, yeah. This is my brightness. I basically have it all the way up because I can't even see. I don't know why. Music all the way down because my chat can't hear me when I'm trying to talk and there's music on. And then I have all this other stuff up. This stuff is personal. I used to play with Colorblindness on, but I stopped playing with it on. I probably should start playing with it on so I can see through the storm and stuff like that when people run through. But that's up to you. If I would recommend anything, it would be this one, so you can see in the storm when people are running out. And these are my controls. So basically, I play claw, which is use your pointer finger to click all your buttons like Y, X, A, B, and my thumb stays on the joystick, and I use my middle finger or ring finger. No, it's not ring finger. I don't know my fingers. Alright, my middle finger to click the back buttons, so R1 and RZ, and then the other hand doesn't do claw. The only thing my left hand does claw for is the map. So aim down sights and all that stuff's the same. The only things I changed was my reload and interact edit, and I think that's it. I don't know why I have sprint, all sprint as the D-pad. You don't really, you can literally have that map to nothing. It does not matter as long as you have sprint by default on. Now my build controls, all the building stuff's the same. My edit is Y, and if I do a hand cam, I can show the Y. But my traps is L because usually it's Y for your traps when you're in building mode. I have to edit obviously, so I had to change it to something else. I changed it to L stick, and then my rotate's the same, and then I place it with the L stick. So I just use my joysticks to place traps. I can move around and stuff while I'm doing that. And then my edits, I have my reset as LZ, my select is R, and confirms the edit button again. And yeah, everything's basically the same besides that. So, oh yeah, and this part doesn't really matter. So, the reason why I have my Y as edit, well, basically, if you look at a PlayStation controller, people are using the touchpad as edit. A lot of people use the joysticks as edit. When I was playing on PlayStation, I was using touchpad as edit, and on the Switch controller, you don't have that at all. So I had to make it. You can't make it the minus button or the home button. I don't know why. They should probably add that. So I made the closest thing to the touchpad, and which is Y. And I was like, if I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna have to get used to this real quick. And I was like, because this is when I started first playing claw, and I was like, oh, I need to start getting some controls, adjust my fingers to it, and I just moved my fingers around, felt how it felt, and I just stuck with it. I stuck with Y. I was trying the joystick, and I just kept going back to Y for edit. I don't know why. And then I just stuck with it, and Y is now my edit. I basically push Y with my index finger, and my middle finger clicks as R1, since it's going to be right on top of R1, and I click Y again with my index finger. So it's really quick for me, and maybe not for you because you don't play claw. But what I think for the best controls for non-claw players is use Standard Builder Pro, which I'll do that. Standard Builder Pro, and what you're gonna do is change your jump to you're gonna change your jump to R button, the R joystick. Yeah, R to you're gonna change jump to R jump stick, and then jump stick. R right stick, the right stick. Jump to R the right stick, and then you gotta have your edit as left stick like everyone else has. Left stick is, I think it might be reversed. You always want to have that. If you watch KG95X's video, he explains it a lot better than me because he has these controls right now, and I'll probably put his link in the description. You can check out his video, and he explains basically everything on how like non-claw players can play without having to do claw and not take your thumbs off the joysticks for anything. You don't even have to take you don't take your thumbs off the joysticks for jumping. You don't take your thumbs off the joysticks for editing. You're gonna have to take off your joysticks for building because you can only do so much with that. But it's just the main stuff like editing and jumping you want to focus on. And I say you should always have your edit reset as LZ because it's out of the way and it's like gonna be a lot faster. I think you should also have your select as R because it goes down faster than RZ. Like when you're clicking it, it's gonna click faster and it feels a lot smoother. And it's just closer to your buttons, your Y, X, A, B. You can also change your change edit to X. You want a single button edit. Alright? So what I mean by that is edit by itself. When you go to this, wait, I'll just go to this. Alright, when you go to this, you want to make it edit, but for X, I say X is probably better. I'm just used to swinging, taking out my pickaxe with X, and it's just my way of going back to my gun. I'm different than everyone else, and yeah, you want to you can have switch mode and edit on A still, but you don't want to mess up when you're pressing build mode and it'll go into edit by accident, or you can just put your delay all the way up. But I just take it off so I can get used to it, and then make your edit by itself, because it'll be literally instant, like so, like instantly going to edit. Instead of holding a delay, like even though your delay is all the way down, there's still some delay. I'm editing fast, a little more, and I'm literally just clicking it. So, and the reason I play with motion controls is, I mean, I like it. It looks smooth, and it like helps your reflexes, I guess. I can make another video on that and more in depth, but that's basically my controls, my settings. I know a lot of people are not gonna like it because you have to play COD and do it. Video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let's try to get to 15 likes. If I can get to 15 likes, I'll make a video about motion controls and why you should use them, and the pros and cons on them. 15 likes. That's all I'm looking for. Yeah, 15 likes. Alright. Thanks for watching.